you like to win the Millennium Falcon in a card game? Well, at first, you need to learn how to play SABACC. Let's go to the gamer's table, and I'll show you how to play it. Okay, let me show you how to play SABACC. Here are the cards that come in the deck, and they look like this, which is pretty cool. And I think these look a lot better than the Hasbro. There's a Hasbro edition that have the cards too, but it says Star Wars on it and everything else. And these look a little more realistic. I do like the way these look. These are actually pretty cool. So you're going to have a deck here, and the object of the game is you're trying to get as close to zero as possible. You play 3 rounds, and let me show you what the cards look like. Now you have 2 of these cards in the deck. These are 0. So getting these 2 zeros would actually be the best hand you could ever get in the game. Even if you were to have 3 or 4 or 5 cards and they all total 0, this hand right here, 2 zeros, you cannot beat. This would be the perfect hand. So you only have 2 zeros in the deck, and then you'll see you'll have 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is actually 7. The star is a 7, 8, 9, and 10. You'll have 3 sets of these. So you can see that these are triangle, these are squares, and then you have a third which is dots. Those have no bearing on the game whatsoever. They're still 2. This is still 2. I mean, they're all the same quantity, so that it doesn't matter if you have circles with squares or triangles. It doesn't matter. Now you'll notice that all these are green. That means these are positive numbers. Now you'll look towards the end of the back part of the deck, and you'll see these are red, and it's the same thing, 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way through to 10, and then you have three series of these. So you got 3 sets of all the way up to 10, 1 to 10. All right, and these are the negative numbers. All righty. So what we'll do, and it also comes with a couple dice. And you'll see these, we have all sorts of little figures on here. These are actually the same figures that you see on the dice, on the little dice that you see in the Millennium Falcon, where Han Solo had, there's like almost like a little chain with the dice on it. That's exactly what these markings are. So you'll notice it's the same from the movie. The dice could have been done a little better. I mean, the dice are kind of plain, not much really to them. Some people I've heard have actually taken they went to Disneyland and they actually got the actual gold dice thing that they sell at Disneyland, and they actually cut off the chains and use those dice for the game. That's kind of a cool idea. But these dice are the dice that come with the game. I actually did get this I am an annual pass holder to Disneyland, so as soon as I heard that these cards were out there, I ran over there and snagged them. They were $15 in the Galaxy's Edge side of the park of Disneyland. So I'm going to go ahead and shuffle these up, and I'm going to show you how these are all dealt. Okay, I took the liberty of shuffling the cards, and what we're going to do is we're going to do an easy little 3-player game. Each player starts off with 2 cards. So we'll deal 2 cards to the 3 players. You're going to have the draw pile in the middle. You'll take the top card and turn that into a discard pile. Okay, so the player 1 is going to look at their cards, and always remember that the red is negative and the green are positive. So you have a -6 here with a +2. So you have a -4 in your hand. Now you have 3 options to choose from. You can either discard a card and draw a card, or you can just draw a card, or you can do a swap, which means you're going to take one of your cards and swap it with one of the discard cards. So it's your choice. So in this case, what I'm going to do is we have a -4 here. So we're going to go ahead and, let's see, we're going to go ahead and just draw. Oh, and I just got a 10. So we got 12 minus 6. So now player 1 has a +6. So we'll put that aside. Player 2, oh geez, a -1. We have a 0 card and a -1. So he's going to plan on just holding. That's another option you can do too, is just hold. You can just not take anything. So he's going to go ahead and hang on to the -1. We got player 3. He has a +6 and a +4. He has 10 as the positive. So that's way off the 0. So what he'll do is you can either, let's do a discard and draw. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of the +6 and see what we can draw here. A -8. So we have -8 and a +4, so now he has a -4 in his hand. The minimum cards you have to have in your hands at all times are 2. You can have as many cards in your hand, but you have to always have a minimum of 2 in your hand. Okay, we're done with the first round. Everyone has had a turn. The dealer is going to roll the dice. If you roll doubles on the dice, everyone has to turn in their cards and redraw the amount of cards they had in their hand. So for instance, player 1, if I were to roll doubles, he would have to discard all 3 of his cards and draw 3. Player 2 has 2 cards, he'd have to put them in discard and draw 2 cards, and so on. So this can really disrupt the game with the dice if you roll doubles. So let's see what happens here. Did we roll doubles? No, we did not. As you can tell, they are different. Okay? If they're different, nothing happens. You move on to the second round. So in this case, we have, let's see, we have 12. My 6 is, we have a +6. Let's go ahead and get rid of this +10. And we're going to draw. We have a 7, -7. That actually made my hand worse. So you have -7 and -6. That's -13 + 2. That's a -11. So not looking too good in this hand. Player 2 still has his has his -1. I think he's going to go ahead and keep that. Player 3 has -8 + 4. That's a -4. He's going to go ahead and try to get rid of this -8. He's going to draw, and he has a +8. So now he's got a 12. That just made his hand even worse, unfortunately. So now we're going to roll the dice, see what happens. Nope, they are different. So we're going to move on to the third and final round. All right, so for this one, we're going to go ahead and get rid of this -6. We're going to discard and draw. Oh, we got a 9. Okay, so we got -9, -7. That's 16. So that's -14 for player 1, unfortunately. He's going to stay at -1, obviously. He doesn't want to take any chances, especially being the third and final round. He has a plus, let's see, we got 8 and 4, so we got a +12. What he's going to do here is, let's see, what he can do is, since he won't know that this player has 1, he's going to get rid of this +8 and switch it with the -6. So that way you have -6 + 4, you only have a -2, which in a lot of cases would be a great hand to have. So he's going to go ahead and stick with that. Even after the third round is done, you still have to roll the dice. So we'll roll the dice. Oh my goodness, we have doubles, folks. We have doubles. This is what happens. So much for the -1 for player 2, huh? So player 1 has 3 cards. He has to discard all 3 and blindly take the top 3 cards on the top. Player 2 had 2 cards. He draws 2. Player 3 had 2 cards. He draws 2. And just like that, that's the end of the game. Now we got to figure out who won. So we have player 1 who has 8. That's 9, 9, 18. -4 is +14. This player has -13. And we have -3. So the player 3 has won the game with a -3 score because he's the closest to 0. And that, my friends, is how you play SABACC. I hope after watching this episode, you'll be able to win the Millennium Falcon the next chance you have to win it in a card game. So anyhow, thank you so much for watching the episode. If you enjoyed it, please click on the like button down below. If you'd like to be notified of future episodes uploaded on the Board Game Man channel, please click on the subscribe button along with the notification bell. Thank you so very much, and happy gaming!